Welcome back to the final part of this Celtic TV special commemorating the life of Tommy Burns. Willie McStay is with us on this very special night in memory of a Celtic legend. Just before the break there, Willie, we were talking about Tommy's career, both in management as a player. I suppose one maybe area of disappointment for him was that he only got 8 caps for Scotland.
Yeah, I think the number of caps he got was a real disappointment to him, and I know he had a blow, I think it was before the '82 World Cup, where he was in the panel and measured for his suit, and knowing Tommy always makes jokes about it now, but he never eventually went there, and he still got the suit, and he was disappointed at that. But I think in real terms, you know, the way he talks now as a coach, he said at that stage of his career, if somebody would have confronted honestly his weaknesses, in his defensive side of the game, I'm sure he went on, because natural talent, he had in abundance, a wonderful left foot. He went on, he could have had 100 caps. I don't know who was his contemporaries at that time, vying for positions, but he was just a natural talent, and he should have had more caps.
Did that maybe fuel his desire to go into coaching? Well, the fact that he had weaknesses in his own game, and he thought they could maybe bring on other players?
Obviously, as a player, he was just so passionate about the game, but one of my early memories of him in a coaching capacity was my spell at Kilmarnock, and at that particular time I'd moved back up from England and get the odd lift down with Tommy. Tommy'd pick me up, and you see coaches where they'll get things on the table and move them about, and if the winger should go here and push it to a 4-4-2, a 4-3-3. Tommy did that. The only problem I had was Tommy was driving. And it's sometimes, and anybody who knows I'm talking about football gets carried away. It's sometimes you have to pull the wheel, because he was so engrossed in the game. And it started off with maybe talking about a pass, and before you knew it, every member of that team was involved in his chat. And it was something that was always destined for him, was moving into, he went to Kilmarnock as a player, then moved through. And another thing that's maybe we're sitting here on Celtic TV, there'll be a lot of sad people at Kilmarnock tonight as well. He was fondly loved down there, made a great impression, and even if you look at Kilmarnock's crowds at the moment, at that particular time there was 13,000, no problem every week.
And he took you there as well, didn't he?
He took me there. It was actually Jim Fleeton that was the manager at the time, and Tommy was there as a player, and George McCluskey. So there's special memories, but you talked about coaching. That was in Tommy from an early age.
We've got George Shields on the line now. Good evening, George.
Hi, Alex. How you doing?
Not bad. What would you like to say to Willie about Tommy Burns?
Hi, Willie. You know, me and Jimmy were quite an intricate part down in Barrowfield, and it was a great time. And the memory I had with Tommy was with who turns the light off, Willie, remember?
George,
when it was,
Midnight Tommy, yeah.
It was the Midnight Tommy business. When it was, Tommy used to say, the training will finish at 8:30, and don't worry about it, wee man, but we'll be all right. 9:30, 10 o'clock, we'd be still standing there.
George, see, when I look back, if you were paid by the hour, you'd be a millionaire by now.
I would be, Willie, but unfortunately I'm not a millionaire now, but that's my memory of Tommy, and I'll just cherish that memory, because that was it. And I loved the man. He was just a great guy. And Willie, you were the same, mate, and everybody's devastated with us,
George, your comments are appreciated, and I touched on that earlier on tonight, and you would be down there and seeing the coaching sessions. It was his passion. I was saying earlier on that when the mothers came and dropped off their kids, if they knew it was Tommy that was taking the session, they went away up to the forge to do their shopping. They knew they had plenty of time. Then you've reiterated that. You're spot on.
That's true, though. That's true. But anyway, the condolences are from my family to Tommy's family and the Celtic family, because I was a part of that family, and I think I'm still a part of that family.
Thank you very much, George.
Brilliant.
Fine words. Thank you very much. Just looking at the Scotland situation again, Willie, when he moved in there as a coach, I know from being close to the Scotland camp, he was a great affinity with Walter Smith and Ali McCoist. It's just like we were saying earlier on, he was able to cross that divide, and the players all loved Tommy, and even the Rangers players were very, very close to Tommy. You noticed that?
He's very, very proud of his contribution he made to the national team, and obviously prior to Walter Smith and Goisley moving in, under Bertie Volz. That was one thing. He'd come back, and he was very, very passionate about that, and the way that Bertie Volz went about his business, and he couldn't speak any highly of the man. Obviously, the success came and results changed when Walter came there. And again, like, you can be serious about Tommy, but you just have to see that the bond they had with them. And I remember the stage where they moved to Rangers, Walter Smith and Ali McCoist, and he came into the dressing room and says, "Well, that's it, guys. I've had the call." And he lifted a bag and walked out the dressing room, and people were, "Is he serious?" And one or two, the chins would drop and whatever, and he'd come back and, "Hey, that'll be right. There's no way I'm going out there." But no, he just loved that involvement. And you see, like, obviously, I've seen Rosemary and the family earlier on tonight, and they said that Coyce was on the phone, and he was distraught as well. And he just, I think people in football were touched with Tommy just because of the type of person he was. A great knowledge of football, but he was just a great person. Great
memories, Willie. We're joined now by Brian McClare, another Celtic great. Brian, presumably you're very sad to have heard the news about Tommy's passing today as well.
Well, it's a big shock. I didn't realise how ill Tommy was. I knew before that he'd had a big battle with cancer and he'd overcome that. I got a phone call this morning from a friend who said he'd just come on the radio, and when I called him back, he said that he died, and I was very numb.
Of course, you came to the club in 1983, Brian, and Tommy would have been a major influence of the club at that time.
Oh, he was a major influence on the club, and he was a major influence on me. He was in his prime of his football playing career, and in the prime of his life, really. I felt very blessed to walk into the dressing room that contained wonderful players like Tommy Burns, Danny McGrain, Roy Aitken, etc. Tommy was very kind to me. He gave me a lot of great advice. The overriding memory of his was his humour. He was a terrific wit, and he always a very quick wit, and he was entertaining from the day that I walked into that dressing room to the day that I left. And indeed, he's responsible for my nickname, because in the first pre-season tour we went to Switzerland, and we were at Basel, and there was virtually no crowd there. And one of the stalwart Celtic supporters came in, and somebody shouted down from the terrace, "Come on, the chocolate McClare!" And Tommy latched onto that right away and decided that that was a great name for me, and he was responsible for it sticking.
And of course, that just illustrates him perfectly, I think, Brian. He was the link man between Celtic, the club, and the fans, because he was very passionate about the fans and their involvement in the football club.
He was a fan. I think first and foremost, he was always a fan. And every time, and every day in training, and every game that he played, he looked himself as a fan of the football club, and that he felt he was the culvert for their fervour and their passion, and he was fortunate enough to be able to do what all those people wanted to do who were watching the game. And I think the way he played, and the way that he coached, and the way that he managed, I think that shone through, that his love for the football club and love for